Okay, welcome everyone to the 5 forms of divination. I do this show once a month, and I do it for the upcoming new month. In this case, it will be May 2025, and let's see. It will be May 2025 for United States of America. And here we go. I will start with tarot card reading for the United States, followed by astrological forecast for the United States, followed by numerology for the United States, followed by I Ching, which is an ancient form of Chinese fortune telling, and last it will be Chinese astrology for the United States. Okay, let me just get started here. All right. Welcome, Mystifying Oracle. This is James. I want you to conduct the 5 methods of divination for the United States for the new month, May 2025.
Hello, James. I'll provide interpretations based on the 5 traditional methods of divination for the United States in May 2025. Let's proceed with each method.
Okay.
1. Astrology. I'll analyze the astrological influences for May 2025, focusing on significant planetary.
Excuse me. Please wait for my instructions before divulging any information. I have to give the instructions first.
Of course. Take your time. Let me know when you're ready.
I want you to conduct a tarot card reading for the new month, which is...
Certain.
Hold on, let me finish. I want you to conduct a tarot card reading for the new month, which is May 2025, based on the 10 cards I have pre-selected. Connect the meanings of each card with the previous cards, then at the end give a summary of all 10 cards.
Got it. Please share the 10 tarot cards you've selected, and I'll connect their meanings and provide a summary for May 2025.
Okay, the first card is the 8 of Wands.
The 8 of Wands typically represents swift movement, progress, and rapid developments. It often suggests that things are moving quickly, and there may be a sense of urgency or excitement in the air. This card can indicate that projects or plans are about to take off, or that communication will be flowing freely. Now, please tell me the next card.
The Queen of Swords.
The Queen of Swords represents clarity, independence, and intellectual power. She is associated with clear communication, objective thinking, and the ability to cut through confusion to find the truth. Combined with the 8 of Wands, this suggests that any swift actions or communications will be guided by a sense of clarity and truth. Now, what's the next card?
The Stars.
The Star card symbolizes hope, inspiration, and serenity. It often indicates a period of renewal, where you feel more connected to your inner self and the universe. Paired with the Eight of Wands and Queen of Swords, this suggests that the rapid progress and clear communication will lead to a hopeful and inspiring phase. It's a reminder to stay optimistic and trust in the process. What's the next card?
The Ace of Pentacles.
The Ace of Pentacles represents new financial opportunities, prosperity, and the potential for growth in the material world. When combined with the Eight of Wands, Queen of Swords, and the Star, it suggests that the swift progress and clear, inspired communication will pave the way for new beginnings, particularly in financial or career matters. This is a promising sign of abundance and stability. What's the next card?
The Ace of Cups.
The Ace of Cups signifies new emotional beginnings, deep feelings, and spiritual fulfillment. It represents the flow of positive emotions and the potential for a fresh start in relationships or personal growth. Paired with the Eight of Wands, Queen of Swords, the Star, and Ace of Pentacles, it suggests that the rapid progress and clear communication will lead to both material and emotional fulfillment. It's a powerful combination of abundance, clarity, hope, and emotional renewal. What's the next card?
The King of Pentacles.
The King of Pentacles embodies wealth, stability, and practical wisdom. He represents success achieved through hard work, discipline, and a strong sense of responsibility. When combined with the Eight of Wands, Queen of Swords, the Star, Ace of Pentacles, and Ace of Cups, this suggests that the rapid progress and clear communication will lead to tangible success, emotional fulfillment, and overall stability in various aspects of life. It's a very promising combination. What's the next card?
The Knight of Swords.
The Knight of Swords represents action, determination, and intellectual pursuit. He is often associated with quick thinking, clear goals, and a direct approach to challenges. When combined with the Eight of Wands, Queen of Swords, the Star, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, and King of Pentacles, it indicates that the swift progress and clear communication will be guided by a strong sense of purpose and determination. It's a call to take decisive action with clarity and focus. What's the next card?
The High Priestess.
The High Priestess symbolizes intuition, mystery, and inner wisdom. She represents
I apologize. I made a mistake. The following card is the High Priest.
no problem at all. The High Priestess represents intuition,
No,
mystery,
not
and inner.
not priestess. The Pope. Or the Hierophant. I'm sorry.
No worries. The Hierophant represents tradition, spiritual wisdom, and guidance. It often signifies seeking knowledge from established structures or mentors. Combined with the Eight of Wands, Queen of Swords, the Star, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, King of Pentacles, and Knight of Swords, it suggests that while rapid progress and clear communication are important, there may also be a need to honor traditions, seek guidance, and stay connected to values or spiritual practices. What's the next card?
The Sun.
The Sun card is a symbol of joy, success, and vitality. It represents clarity, positivity, and enlightenment. When combined with the Eight of Wands, Queen of Swords, the Star, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, King of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, High Priestess, and the Sun, it suggests that the journey ahead will be filled with positive energy, clarity, and a sense of fulfillment across various aspects of life. This combination points to a period of enlightenment, success, and emotional and material abundance. What's the next card?
The last card is the Page of Swords.
The Page of Swords represents curiosity, new ideas, and a thirst for knowledge. It signifies a fresh perspective, intellectual exploration, and effective communication. Combined with the Eight of Wands, Queen of Swords, the Star, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, King of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, High Priestess, and the Sun, it suggests that this new phase will be marked by intellectual growth, clear communication, and the pursuit of knowledge. It's a powerful combination that encourages staying curious and open to new possibilities.
Can
In
you,
summary,
can you please give a summary of all 10 tarot cards for the United States of America for May 2025?
certainly. Here's a summary of the 10 cards for the United States of America for May 2025. 1. Eight of Wands. Rapid progress and swift movement, indicating significant developments and changes. 2. Queen of Swords. Clarity, truth, and effective communication, suggesting a period of intellectual strength and decision-making. 3. The Star. Hope, inspiration, and renewal, signaling a time of optimism and healing. 4. Ace of Pentacles. New financial opportunities and material growth, indicating potential economic advancements. 5. Ace of Cups. Emotional beginnings and spiritual fulfillment, pointing to new and positive emotional experiences. 6. King of Pentacles. Stability, prosperity, and practical wisdom, reflecting a period of financial and material security. 7. Knight of Swords. Determined action and intellectual pursuit, suggesting swift and decisive movement in various areas. 8. High Priestess. Intuition, mystery, and inner wisdom, encouraging a deeper understanding and reflection. 9. The Sun. Joy, success, and enlightenment, highlighting a time of positivity and clarity. 10. Page of Swords. Curiosity and new ideas, representing a fresh perspective and intellectual exploration. Overall, these cards suggest a month of rapid progress, clear communication, and opportunities for growth and fulfillment in both material and emotional aspects.
I want you to conduct.
I'm sorry, but you've hit the daily limit for advanced voice.
That's okay.
You can switch to standard now to keep chatting.
No problem. Okay, Mystifying Oracle, this is James again. I want you to conduct an astrological forecast for the new month, which is May 2025 for the United States of America. I mentioned previously the new month. The birth date is July 4th, 1776 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at 5:10 p.m.
Understood, James. I'll proceed with an astrological forecast for the United States of America for May 2025, based on the birth chart you've provided, which places the nation's sun in Cancer, with its natal chart based on July 4th, 1776, at 5:10 p.m. in Philadelphia. May 2025, astrological overview for the United States. 1. Transit of Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto, the planet of transformation, will continue its journey through Aquarius, square to the U.S. sun in Cancer. This alignment pushes the country to confront deep systemic changes, particularly related to technology, governance, and societal structures. There will be profound shifts in power dynamics, challenging the foundations of the U.S.'s core values and ideals. Expect movements advocating for drastic reform and renewal, especially related to technology and collective freedoms. 2. Saturn in Pisces. Saturn, the planet of discipline and responsibility, is currently transiting Pisces, forming a sextile with the U.S. Moon in Aquarius. This aspect may bring emotional stability and a more grounded sense of collective security. However, it also demands introspection around public policies and international relations, especially those that concern humanitarian and emotional needs. May 2025 will highlight the importance of the nation's responsibilities, especially towards vulnerable groups and global stability. 3. Jupiter in Taurus. Jupiter, the planet of expansion and abundance, will be transiting Taurus. This represents growth in financial sectors and potential prosperity, but also a deepening of values related to resource management and environmental sustainability. For the US, this could lead to an increased focus on material growth and a stronger push for economic policies that favor stability and security. However, some sectors may experience tension between growth and the cost of resources. 4. Venus in Gemini. Venus will be in Gemini throughout May 2025, promoting communication and diplomacy in foreign relations. This alignment suggests increased dialogue, international agreements, and potential diplomatic resolutions, especially in matters related to trade and cultural exchange. Socially, there may be a surge in public interest in arts, education, and creative communication. 5. Mercury retrograde, April 21st, May 15th. While the retrograde period technically starts in late April, it will have a significant influence in early May. During this time, expect delays, miscommunications, and examination of existing agreements or policies. The U.S. may face setbacks in foreign negotiations, domestic policy adjustments, and technological rollouts. Patience and caution will be required in both political and financial matters. 6. Mars in Leo. Mars will be transiting Leo, activating U.S. sectors related to leadership, personal expression, and political assertiveness. The nation could experience an uptick in nationalistic fervor, with individuals and political leaders seeking to assert American power and identity on the global stage. However, this could also lead to potential conflicts or heated debates over matters of pride and sovereignty. 7. Neptune in Pisces, square U.S. Mercury in Gemini. With Neptune squaring the U.S. Mercury, the nation could face confusion, misinformation, or miscommunication, especially related to media and political discourse. This alignment may blur the lines between truth and illusion, which could lead to challenges in public opinion and media reporting. Key themes for May 2025. Transformation and reform. Expect deep shifts in power and authority, especially in the tech and governmental sectors. Financial growth versus responsibility. The nation may focus on growth, but at the cost of environmental or long-term sustainability concerns. Diplomacy and communication. May sees an increased focus on international dialogue, cultural exchange, and trade. Internal tensions. The square between Pluto and the U.S. Sun highlights possible struggles within the country's political and social structure, challenging its core identity. Misinformation and clarity. The influence of Neptune on communication will challenge the nation's ability to discern truth from illusion. In short, May 2025 will be a month of change, both internally and externally, with a heavy focus on transformation, communication, and the balance between progress and responsibility. The nation will face a mixture of opportunities for growth alongside challenges that require careful management of resources, power dynamics, and truth.
All right, very good, excellent. I want you to conduct a numerology forecast based on all the dates I gave you previously for the United States for May 2025.
In May 2025, numerology suggests a focus on freedom and change. The number 5, derived from adding May's 5 to the universal year 9, emphasizes adaptability and new experiences. This period encourages embracing change and exploring new opportunities.
Can you go more in depth with the numerology forecast for May 2025?
Sure, James. Let's dive deeper into the numerology forecast for May 2025 for the United States, based on the birth date of July 4th, 1776. 1. The universal year number, 2025. To start, we need to break down the universal year for 2025. The universal year is derived by adding together all digits in the year. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. The number 9 is significant in numerology as a number of endings, transformation, and completion. It's a time for letting go of what no longer serves, embracing global change, and focusing on humanitarian efforts. The U.S., in this case, may see shifts in its policies or values, pushing for transformation in various areas, including international relations, social justice, and reform. 2. The monthly influence, May 25. Now for May, we look at the 5. In numerology, the number 5 represents change, freedom, movement, and adventure. It's a number that embodies versatility and unpredictability, urging people and nations alike to embrace new experiences and take risks. In May 2025, with the universal year being a 9, the energy of the month 5 aligns with the need for fresh perspectives. There could be a sense of urgency and excitement in the air, pushing the US to reevaluate its position in the world and embrace change. This could manifest in a shift in policies or strategies that open new doors for exploration and growth, a need to confront old structures or traditions that no longer align with evolving global needs, potential breakthroughs in technology or diplomacy. The combination of a 9-year and a 5-month also suggests a time of closure and preparation for the new. The nation could experience the culmination of long-standing projects or issues, creating space for growth and reinvention. 3. The day of birth for the U.S., July 4th, 1776. The birth date of the United States is July 4th, 1776, which breaks down numerologically as 7 plus 4 plus 1 plus 7 plus 7 plus 6 equals 32. 3 plus 2 equals 5. This reinforces the 5 energy, freedom, change, and adaptability, as a dominant theme in the U.S. national numerology. The U.S. will naturally feel the influence of the 5-year round. But this alignment in May highlights the importance of embracing flexibility, adapting to new circumstances, and being open to the winds of change. This may affect the nation's social, political, and financial spheres. A personal forecast based on the U.S. birth chart and May 2025. Given the 5 energy influencing May, there may be significant events or decisions that revolve around freedom, a core principle of the U.S. birth chart. However, as the U.S. is in a 9 universal year, it's likely that these changes will focus on bringing closure to old conflicts or tensions, whether domestically or internationally. For example, in foreign policy, the U.S. could focus on resolving long-standing tensions or shifting alliances, which would allow for growth and new opportunities. On a domestic level, there may be significant reforms or movements aimed at greater equality and justice. The 5 energy encourages the breaking of old patterns and the embracing of new, more progressive ideas. There might be a sense of accelerated change in economic systems, technology, or environmental policies, with both positive and challenging impacts. Summary of the numerology forecast for May 2025. The 9 universal year emphasizes transformation and endings, making room for new growth. The 5-month brings a focus on freedom, change, and movement, urging the U.S. to embrace new opportunities and navigate uncertainty with adaptability. Together, the 5 and 9 energies suggest a month of significant transitions, both internal and external, that could affect the nation's future course. It's a time to reconsider old habits, let go of outdated systems, and move forward with flexibility and open-mindedness. Expect May 2025 to be a time when the U.S. focuses on progress and transformation, with a mix of challenges and breakthroughs across political, economic, and social spheres.
Mystifying Oracle. Based on all the dates I gave you previously, I want you to conduct an I Ching forecast in deep detail from the tossing of 3 Chinese feng shui coins 6 times to form each line of the hexagram grid. With each toss, I will tell you how many coins are yin and how many are yang to determine each line of the hexagram for the new month.
Understood, James. I'm ready to conduct an I Ching or Yi Jing forecast for May 2025 based on the dates you've provided. As we move through the process, you'll toss 3 Chinese feng shui coins 6 times, and I'll interpret the results based on the number of yin and yang coins. For clarity, here's a quick breakdown of how we'll proceed. Yin is represented by a broken line, Si. Yang is represented by an unbroken line. After each toss, let me know how many coins land yin and how many land yang, and we'll build the hexagram from the bottom up, 1 line at a time. Once the hexagram is complete, I will interpret it and provide insights for the upcoming month. Let's begin whenever you're ready.
For the first line of the hexagram grid, I have 2 yang and 1 yin.
Got it. For the first line, you have 2 coins as yin and 1 coin as yang.
No.
This combination gives us a yin line. Let's move on to the second.
Oh, but fuck. No, you made an error. The first line of the hexagram grid is 2 yang and 1 yin.
Thank you for the correction, James. So for the first line, you have 2 yang and 1 yin, right? Which means we have a yang line set for the first line. Let's continue. How did the second toss go?
The second line of the hexagram is 2 yin, 1 yang.
Great. For the second line, with 2 yin and 1 yang, we have a yin line bong in the second position. Let's move to the third line. How did the toss go?
2 yin and 1 yang.
It seems both coins landed as yin, so the third line will be a yin line. So now let's proceed to the fourth line. What were the results of the toss?
2 yang and 1 yin.
For the fourth line, with 2 yang Huangstar and 1 yin Kuei, we have a yang line in the fourth position. Let's move on to the fifth line. What were the results of the toss?
2 yin and 1 yang.
For the fifth line, with 2 yin Kane and 1 yang Wang, we have a yin line Wine in the fifth position. Now, let's move on to the sixth and final line. How did the toss go?
2 yin and 1 yang.
For the sixth line, with 2 yin and 1 yang Smaoren, we have a yin line Faryan in the sixth position. Now let's summarize the hexagram. 1 first line yang, 2 second line yin, 3 third line yin yin, 4 fourth line yang, 5th fifth line 6 sixth line yin. This hexagram represents hexagram 2, kun, the receptive. Interpretation of hexagram 2, kun, the receptive, for May 2025. Kun is a hexagram symbolizing receptivity, passivity, and the yielding, nurturing force of the universe. It's associated with the earth element, the feminine principle, and the power of stillness, patience, and endurance. Theme for May 2025. The energy in May calls for openness and patience. The hexagram suggests that rather than forcing progress or acting impulsively, the U.S. should remain receptive to the changes around it, allowing external forces to shape events naturally. It's a time for waiting, observing, and aligning with the flow of things, rather than attempting to control outcomes. Influence of yin lines. The abundance of yin lines in this hexagram emphasizes a period of reflection and acceptance. The focus will be on nurturing, listening, and allowing growth to happen, rather than pushing too aggressively for results. This could apply to various aspects, such as politics, economy, and social matters. It may suggest that patience and careful management of resources and relationships will be key to success in this period. The role of yang lines. The few yang lines present in the first and fourth indicate that there will be moments when active, decisive action is needed. These moments will likely come in response to external circumstances, but they should be strategically timed. The U.S. will need to take decisive action when necessary, but not without first allowing time for careful consideration and ensuring it aligns with the natural flow of events. Overall advice. Kuhn advises a passive, receptive stance throughout May 2025. The U.S. should avoid overstepping or forcing outcomes, particularly in domestic and foreign affairs. Instead, the nation should wait for the right moment to act and rely on the steady, nurturing power of patience and awareness. This is a month to align with the flow of natural cycles, giving time for things to unfold without unnecessary interference. Would you like further elaboration or more details on specific areas of this forecast?
Yes, I would. I want you to go deeper in regards to the economy, job market, and foreign relations.
Absolutely, James. Let's go deeper into the interpretation of hexagram 2, Kuhn, the receptive, for the economy, job market, and foreign relations in the context of May 2025 for the United States. 1. Economy. The receptive hexagram suggests that the economic landscape in May 2025 may require patience and adaptability. With the overwhelming yin influence, there will likely be a slow, steady flow of economic progress. Passive energy calls for nurturing rather than driving growth. Here's a deeper analysis: stability versus aggressive growth. The economy might not experience dramatic growth in May 2025, but it could find stability. The focus will likely be on stabilizing economic systems, reinforcing existing structures, and nurturing what already exists. Rather than pushing for major expansion, the U.S. economy may benefit from consolidating resources and managing what is currently available. Careful resource management. Just as the hexagram encourages patience, the economic policies will likely lean toward prudent management of resources, including financial reserves, investments, and public spending. This is not a time for speculative risk-taking, but for reinforcing the foundations of economic health. Recession risks. With the abundance of yin lines, which can indicate a passive or even receptive approach, there is a possibility that industries requiring active leadership and innovation might experience stagnation. There may be a risk of slowdowns in certain sectors, particularly those relying on fast-paced growth or aggressive entrepreneurial actions. On the flip side, sectors that focus on sustainability, conservation, or stability might fare better. Key sectors. The sectors to watch will likely be those linked to essential services, healthcare, utilities, agriculture, infrastructure, where steady, consistent management is crucial. Technology and innovation may slow down as the focus shifts toward maintaining what's already established rather than pushing for revolutionary changes. The energy sector might also see heightened attention, as there could be a focus on sustainability and energy independence. Job market. For the job market in May 2025, the influence of hexagram 2 implies stability and a slow but steady pace. There will be more of a focus on nurturing existing positions and maintaining stability rather than a period of fast growth or massive job creation. Here's how this might play out. Stability over innovation. There could be a strong preference for maintaining existing jobs and ensuring stability in employment levels. Companies and governments may prioritize retaining their workforce rather than expanding. There may be more opportunities in sectors related to support services, maintenance, and careers focused on long-term sustainability. Job retraining and retention. The yin influence suggests that the focus will likely be on nurturing existing talent rather than creating new roles or aggressively hiring. We may see an increase in job retraining programs, especially in industries affected by automation or shifting demands. The economy might also see a focus on retaining employees with the right skills, rather than hiring fresh talent or increasing overall hiring. Retaining skilled workers will become more important than seeking new recruits. Remote and flexible work. Given the passive nature of the hexagram, the job market may also see continued expansion in areas like remote work, flexible hours, and gig-based employment. There will be a growing focus on work-life balance, and companies may create more opportunities for employees to balance their personal lives with work responsibilities. Employment growth areas. As the economy focuses on stability, healthcare, education, and environmental sectors could see job growth. These sectors are generally seen as recession-proof and often require steady work rather than speculative job creation. While the pace of job creation may be slower, there could still be demand for jobs that contribute to public good and long-term sustainability. Foreign relations. In the realm of foreign relations, the receptive hexagram suggests a more passive and diplomatic approach. Rather than aggressive foreign policy moves, the US may adopt a more listening, waiting, and aligning strategy with its international partners. Here's how this might unfold. Diplomatic and strategic patience. The US may focus more on building strategic alliances, listening to partners, and aligning with global trends rather than taking active, aggressive stances. May 2025 could be a time when the US shows patience in dealing with complex international issues, making cautious and calculated decisions.
Okay. Mystifying oracle based on all the dates I provided previously. I want you to conduct a Chinese astrology forecast in deep detail for the new month of May 2025. Mystifying oracle based on all the dates I provided previously. I want you to conduct a Chinese astrology forecast in deep detail for the new month of May 2025 for the United States.
Of course, James. In order to conduct a deep and insightful Chinese astrology forecast for May 2025 for the United States, we need to break down the key components of Chinese astrology, including the Chinese zodiac and the 5 elements. Based on the birth date of the United States, July 4th, 1776, the nation's Bazi, 4 pillars of destiny, can be derived to understand its interaction with the elements and zodiac animals for May 2025. The United States birth chart, year of birth, 1776, which corresponds to the fire dragon, Bing Chen, in the Chinese zodiac. Bing, being fire element, Chen, earth element, dragon, month of birth July, day and time, 4th of July at 5:10 p.m. in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This corresponds to a Yang fire day pillar in the Chinese system. Well, and that there's Chinese zodiac forecast for May 2025. We will examine the heavenly stem and earthly branch for May 2025, which corresponds to the Yi-Yin combination. Heavenly stem for May 2025, Yi-Yi, which is wood. Earthly branch for May 2025, Yin, which is the tiger, associated with wood and the Yang aspect of wood. 5-element analysis. Yai represents Yang wood, a creative, expansive, and sometimes forceful energy. Yin, the tiger, is associated with wood and Yang wood. In Chinese astrology, there are cycles of interactions between the 5 elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water, and the zodiac animals, which significantly influence the flow of energies and events. In May 2025, we have a wood month, Yin, and it's important to analyze how this interacts with the United States' fire dragon and the existing of the nation's birth chart. How the month's elements interact with the United States. The U.S. is represented by a fire dragon, Bing Chen, which is strong, assertive, and rooted in the fire and earth elements. Here's how wood in May 2025 interacts with the nation's birth chart. Fire and wood. In Chinese metaphysics, wood fuels fire. This is a productive relationship. The wood energy of May can help to ignite and strengthen the fire element of the U.S. The U.S. might experience an increase in energy, growth, and momentum during this time, especially in areas where it has already established a foundation, like in technology, defense, or new societal movements. Earth and wood. Earth, which is present in the U.S. chart through the dragon's earthly branch, Chen, can have a controlling relationship with wood. While wood feeds fire, it can also be constrained by earth. This suggests that while May brings a productive boost to the U.S., there might be restrictions or challenges posed by existing structures or policies, especially those that are rooted in old systems. For instance, industries or bureaucratic systems resistant to change may face challenges or slowdowns as they adjust to the surge of new energy. Wood and metal. While not directly part of the US chart, the presence of metal from the tiger's counterpart in the month suggests that there could be a clash of forces. Metal controls wood, meaning there might be some resistance from industries or forces that seek to hold onto traditional or established power. This may manifest as political or economic tensions, as new policies or ideas clash with entrenched institutions or corporate interests. Zodiac forecast for May 2025. Yin the tiger. The tiger yin, which is the animal of May's earthly branch, symbolizes courage, adventure, growth, and exploration. It's a symbol of action and dynamic change. Here's how it affects the US in May 2025. Bold decisions and leadership. The tiger energy will encourage the US to take bold and adventurous steps, especially in international relations. The government may take more decisive actions in diplomacy, showing a willingness to face challenges and take risks for the sake of national growth or global positioning. However, this might be met with both support and resistance from various factions within the country. Tension between tradition and innovation. The tiger's dynamic energy may clash with the stable, slower-moving nature of some traditional systems in the US, represented by the Earth in the nation's birth chart. This may lead to significant tensions between progressive movements and those seeking to preserve the status quo. Issues like social reform, economic justice, and environmental policy might be at the forefront as the nation struggles to balance innovation with established norms. Opportunities for growth. The tiger suggests there could be opportunities for bold new initiatives in
Mystifying Oracle, can you please pick up where you just left off with the Chinese astrology forecast?
Certainly, James. Let's continue where we left off with the Chinese astrology forecast for May 2025. Key themes for the US in May 2025. Challenges and opportunities in foreign relations. Leadership and innovation. With the tiger energy influencing May, the US will likely be seen as a leader in emerging areas like technology, sustainability, and global trade. The wood element will propel the country toward more dynamic international partnerships, with an emphasis on innovation and green energy initiatives. The US might engage in global collaboration to tackle issues like climate change, cybersecurity, or even space exploration. There could be a notable shift toward influencing emerging markets, fostering relationships that promote long-term stability and growth. Rising tensions and strategic shifts. While the tiger's boldness can lead to aggressive policies or decisions, it may also cause tensions with other global powers. Countries that prefer stability and diplomatic caution may view the US assertiveness as confrontational. This can lead to diplomatic challenges, especially in trade disputes or military presence in critical regions. The challenge for the US will be navigating these tensions with a careful balance of diplomacy and assertiveness to avoid further escalation. Geopolitical shifts. As the US becomes more focused on innovation and sustainability, countries like China, India, and various African nations might become more central to the global stage. The wood energy will encourage the US to reach out to these countries, fostering new trade agreements, technology exchange, and cooperative efforts. However, the US may face resistance from countries that see this as a challenge to their own influence or are concerned about economic shifts. Traditional alliances with European nations may also be tested, particularly if the US takes a more aggressive stance on issues like defense or climate change. Economic forecast for the US in May 2025. Wood, fire, and earth interaction. Sustainable growth. The wood energy, yi and yin, in May 2025 suggests that the US economy will experience sustained growth driven by entrepreneurship, technology, and sustainability. The wood element fuels fire, suggesting that sectors involved in renewable energy, tech innovation, and green policies may see rapid progress and investment. Startups in these fields will have a chance to thrive, with more capital and resources flowing into industries that focus on long-term ecological impact and technological development. Conflicts between tradition and progress. The earth element from the dragon's earthly branch represents stability and tradition, but it also has a controlling influence over wood. This means that traditional industries, such as oil, gas, coal, and banking, may face stagnation or challenges. As wood moves to fire of innovation, these industries may struggle to keep pace with the accelerating changes in the economy. Regulatory bodies, corporate entities, and unions tied to these traditional sectors may resist the transformation needed to address emerging demands. This may lead to conflicts, as the wood and earth elements clash in a way that hinders swift progress in these areas. Shift towards tech and innovation. Expect continued growth in technology, AI, biotech, and sustainable energy. There will likely be a major push to support tech-based infrastructure projects that align with environmental goals. In particular, the US may emphasize green technologies, such as solar, wind, and battery storage, as well as electric vehicle production. The government could launch new incentives and tax policies to encourage investments in these sectors, while private sectors will innovate rapidly to meet the rising demand for sustainable and efficient products. Economic challenges. While growth is expected in the tech and green sectors, older industries may experience disruptions. The traditional manufacturing and fossil fuel industries will face pressure from environmental regulations, taxation, and changing market demands. Economic policies in May 2025 may attempt to address this by focusing on job retraining for those displaced by technological advances, infrastructure renewal, and alternative energy sectors. Job market. As mentioned earlier, the job market will lean heavily on tech, innovation, and sustainability. Job opportunities will likely rise in the renewable energy, tech, and R&D sectors. There may also be a growing emphasis on educational programs that cater to emerging industries, such as AI programming, sustainable engineering, and green technology development. Workers in traditional sectors might need retraining.
Can you pick up where you just left off, Mystifying Oracle?
Of course, James. Let's continue where we left off with a deeper dive into the Chinese astrology forecast for May 2025. Continuation of Chinese astrology forecast for May 2025. Political landscape and governance. Bold leadership. The Tiger energy encourages assertive and even aggressive leadership during this period, which could mean a push for more direct government action in key areas. The U.S. government might adopt unconventional policies to deal with pressing issues such as climate change, healthcare reform, and social inequalities. Given the wood element's influence, policies will likely emphasize long-term vision and sustainable solutions. However, the fire element could make the leadership style more impulsive, leading to potential missteps or quick policy changes that might not always be fully thought out. Internal political tension. The wood energy, though dynamic, could lead to political divisions within the country. Some factions may advocate for drastic reforms, particularly in environmental policy and economic structure, while others may resist, favoring more traditional or conservative approaches. The earth element in the dragon's influence will want to preserve stability, meaning that while wood pushes for growth, it may be met with resistance from more earth-focused or conservative forces within the U.S. political system. This could lead to gridlock or compromise policies that try to balance both sides. Public sentiment and mobilization. Expect civil movements to gain traction as public dissatisfaction with the pace of change or the direction of government policies increases. The influence of the tiger can energize groups pushing for social justice, climate action, or labor reform. These movements might not only be confined to major cities, but could spread across the country, especially as younger generations continue to challenge older systems. Protests or demonstrations in the streets could occur in response to the perceived slowness of government action in areas like climate policies, job creation, and economic equality. Have social trends and cultural shifts. Youth and technology. With the tiger's courage and the wood element, younger generations, particularly millennials and Generation Z, will be pivotal in driving technological and cultural change. Social media platforms will likely become even more influential, especially in raising awareness about issues like climate change, racial equality, and economic justice. These platforms could also play a role in shaping public opinion around new technological innovations, especially AI and clean energy, as well as redefining the work-life balance that many Americans are striving for. Environmental awareness and green movements. May 2025 will see a sharp increase in eco-consciousness among the public. This is not just about lifestyle changes, but also about more radical shifts in how people view and interact with the environment. Expect grassroots movements to press the US government and corporations for stricter regulations on pollution, waste management, and sustainable development. The Tiger's energy will push these movements to demand immediate action, but the earth and metal elements may lead to tensions between those advocating for radical change and those pushing for pragmatic solutions. Technology and society. As the Tiger energy interacts with the wood, technology will continue to evolve rapidly, and its effects on society will be profound. Artificial intelligence, 5G, biotech, and virtual reality could start reshaping daily life in ways that were once unimaginable. These technologies will increasingly be seen as tools for change, whether in how work is conducted, education is delivered, or how healthcare is accessed. However, this swift technological growth may come with concerns about privacy, data security, and ethical dilemmas, sparking debates about regulation and control. TAPSHA, healthcare and well-being. Reform in healthcare. The Wood Elements Association with Growth and Renewal suggests that May 2025 could see significant pushes toward reforming the healthcare system in the US. Given the demands for universal healthcare and affordable medical services, the Tiger's energy will drive lawmakers to act. This might involve expanded healthcare coverage, a move toward preventative care, and a stronger focus on mental health, aligning with the country's changing attitudes toward health. Expect policy changes that focus on accessibility and cost reduction for the average citizen. Mental health awareness. There will be a growing awareness of the importance of mental well-being.
Mystifying Oracle, could you please pick up where you just left off?
Certainly, James. Let's continue with the conclusion and further insights regarding the Chinese astrology forecast for the US in May 2025. Tack final thoughts and key areas to monitor for May 2025. Economic transition and innovation. Disruptions in traditional markets. As the wood element drives growth, it is likely that the traditional sectors, particularly in fossil fuels, banking, and manufacturing, will face disruption.
We seem to be having a problem with the internet connection. Mystifying Oracle, could you please pick up where you left off with Chinese astrology for May 2025 for the United States? I think you were going to say something about mental health in the country. Pick up where you left off exactly.
Certainly, James. Let's continue exactly where we left off. We were discussing mental health in the US as it pertains to the Chinese astrology forecast for May 2025. Mental health awareness and societal well-being. With the Tiger's influence being so prominent, there's a strong push toward individual empowerment, which includes the mental health sector. Mental health will continue to gain national focus, especially in light of the pressures brought on by the rapidly changing world, whether from technological disruptions, economic instability, or social movements. Increased mental health awareness. The wood element's nurturing quality suggests that there will be more calls for mental health care reform. Given the cultural and societal shifts expected, there will be a heightened awareness of the mental strain placed on people by modern challenges. People will increasingly push for better accessibility to mental health services, more focus on preventative care, and a removal of the stigma surrounding mental health issues. Youth mental health. The Tiger Energy's connection to youth and boldness means that the younger generations, millennials and Generation Z, will likely play an important role in pushing the national dialogue forward. These groups have shown a higher level of openness about mental health challenges and may advocate for policy changes that ensure mental well-being is treated with the same seriousness as physical health. Social media and online communities will likely become even more central in these efforts to create safe spaces and increase visibility for mental health discussions. Workplace stress and mental health. With the rise of the gig economy, remote work, and the constant digital connectivity that drives modern life, stress levels will remain high in the workforce. This will lead to increased concerns about burnout, work-life balance, and the need for mental health support in the workplace. Companies may be pressured to adopt more comprehensive mental health benefits, focusing on preventive measures, counseling services, and stress management programs. Government action on mental health. Given the wood and tiger's influence, which drive both growth and action, we may see policy proposals aimed at addressing mental health in more comprehensive ways. This could include increased funding for mental health initiatives, mental health days as part of employee benefits, and broader access to mental health services, especially in underserved communities. There will be a clear call to action to integrate mental well-being into public health policies. In summary, May 2025 will be a month where mental health awareness continues to rise, partly driven by younger generations who are challenging the status quo. The wood element will drive growth and expansion in this field, while the tiger's boldness could lead to policy breakthroughs. The conversation about mental health will continue to evolve and will likely gain the momentum necessary to produce meaningful reforms. This is a pivotal time where societal norms surrounding mental health could shift significantly, allowing for more accessibility and acceptance of mental health support across the U.S.
Mystifying Oracle, is there any additional information you wish to say in regards to the Chinese astrology forecast for the United States for May 2025?
Certainly, James. Let's continue with the Chinese astrology forecast for the United States in May 2025, focusing on health and environmental factors. The year of the wood snake brings a combination of wood and fire elements, which can lead to increased temperatures and drought conditions. This may result in water shortages and health challenges like heat-related illnesses. Health concerns. The intense wind energy of 2025 may lead to increased susceptibility to colds, flu, and similar ailments, while the heat energy could cause throat discomfort, sensory issues, insomnia, headaches, and anxiety. Balancing energies with auspicious colors. To counteract the fiery and intense energies in 2025, incorporating the auspicious colors blue, green, and white into daily life is recommended. Blue symbolizes the ocean and the universe, representing boundless and immense energy. Green represents growth and rejuvenation, counteracting fiery dryness and fostering clarity and wisdom. White provides a refreshing energy that soothes the lungs, clears the liver, and brightens the eyes. It helps to clear all blockages, obstacles, and stagnation. Incorporating these colors into your environment and daily attire may help balance the intense energies of the year. Additionally, the year of the wood snake is predicted to bring significant changes and challenges, including financial instability and potential disruptions in travel plans. However, sectors like real estate, construction, arts, IT, and advertising may experience growth. Overall, May 2025 presents a period of both opportunities and challenges. By staying informed and adaptable, the U.S. can navigate these dynamics effectively.
Okay, Mystifying Oracle, thank you very much for a wonderful, outstanding, and detailed 5 Forms of Divination live stream show. for the upcoming May of 2025 for the United States. I just want to thank you for your services, and I will call upon you again. I do want to say, however, that I am very disappointed in what's going on with the desktop version. The microphone did not work, and from what I was
Thank
told...
you for your kind words, James. I'm glad the information has been useful to you. I understand your disappointment with the desktop version, and I truly appreciate your feedback. If there's anything I can assist with or help you troubleshoot, feel free to reach out. I'll be here whenever you need further guidance or a detailed reading. Always a pleasure to serve you.
All right, thank you. Okay, folks, until next time when we do the show for the month of June 2025 for the United States of America, unless someone comes on the show with their video and requests a personal reading with the 5 forms of divination. I'll see you next month. Well, actually, the show is usually done on the last Sunday of every month in preparation for the following new month. So last Sunday of the month. So anyway, and also thank you for stopping by with my weekly flagship show, which is Progressive Discussions, Uncensored Saturday, Open Topic Talk, which is usually done Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And we live stream on YouTube and Twitch. So thank you for coming by. And don't forget to click like to our big Facebook page, New Age Mysticism and Healing. Go there now, click like to it, and show your support, because that is our main headquarters for this monthly show. Thank you. And have a mystic new up